Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another live stream. Yes, it's Friday again. Believe it or not, we were just talking about this on Monday. Seems like it was just a couple of hours ago, but here we are. Welcome to Friday, December 5th, 2025. Welcome back to another live stream. In this live stream, we're going to talk about the sun as it seems to be the biggest topic of all right now. We're waiting on these massive sunspots that are now being compared to the Carrington sunspots of 1859. What's up, Scrappy Dappy Doo? Yes, we're still in the planetary alignment, and we're seeing earthquake activity increase. Susan Donahue. So we're going to get to that. We're going to look at a quake swarm that I noticed increased today. I've got some sky vids and something else that I want to show you guys that I'm working on, Chloe. Check this out right here. I'm not done with it yet. Free truth, but I'm getting close. And when I do serve this one up, I want it to be as good as it possibly can be. You're looking at the video that was shared with me right now in its original format. A lot of times I get these videos, just like you see right here, in vertical format. I convert them to 1080 in a horizontal format. I zoom in, I'll do all kinds of different things to them. But in this video right here, you can't see it, but there's 4 minutes and 7 seconds worth of a massive craft the size of a Costco. You heard me right. The size of a Costco department store, or whatever you want to call that thing, warehouse, flying in the sky. There you go. That's a good example. It looks like a warehouse flying in the sky. You're not going to believe it. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that one, but it's not going to be today. It will be probably tomorrow or the next day. I'm still working on that, and I want to make it as best as it can be. CPF out of northeastern Ohio. They say it's cold up there. It's been cold out here in Arizona. Looking at the western limb of the sun, you can see it's been equally as active as the eastern limb of the sun. This filament right here came off just a few hours ago, and they're talking about the sunspots that are facing the Earth right now, the massive sunspot collection, as having DNA basically, like the Carrington event of 1859 that produced the largest solar flare ever recorded, the largest geomagnetic storm ever recorded. But the thing of it is, and even professors are saying this right now, these sunspots, for their comparison to the Carrington event sunspots, and right here you're looking at the sunspots from 1859. This is the pattern they were in right here before they unleashed the X45 solar flare. Well, the sunspots that are facing the Earth right now have stunning similarities to the Carrington event of 1859. There's a wide-angle view. We're going to go in close. That's the Carrington. Let's go back to this one. In fact, I put together a slideshow. I want to show you guys something very specific about one of the sunspots, 4296. It's got what I call a kicker. See the smaller sunspot down here at the bottom? Then you've got the larger sunspot here with the bridge right there. As soon as that collapses, and there's hardly anything, it's hanging on by a thread. Are you serious? 4296. When that one goes, look at that. Talk about Carrington DNA. That's facing the Earth 100%. So anything at all that comes out of those sunspots, you bet it's going to be Earth directed. But for now, they're eerily quiet. Here's a comparison of just how big the active region is compared to the Earth. There's the Earth. That's the original scale right there. The sunspots are absolutely massive. Collectively, they're about the same size as the sunspots that birthed the largest solar storm in recorded history. And once again, they're facing the Earth right now as I do this video. We're watching these very closely. I'm anticipating an X-flare within the next 24 hours. Here's a look at the current X-flare situation. And as you can see, it's been very quiet. The last 48 hours, we saw one M6 class solar flare. But trust me, that is definitely subject to change at any time. So when it happens, you will be the very first to know. I wanted to talk about the planetary alignment real quick. Yes, we're still in the unique planetary alignment, and it hasn't changed much since the last time we talked about it. But I want to show you guys something. Here's the the sky map right now. In fact, this is real time. There they are. There's Jupiter. There's the Earth. There's the Sun. Mercury's in play now. Venus, Mars. I mean, conditions couldn't be more favorable for the formation of large earthquakes. And not only large earthquakes, but earthquakes in what they call diverse places. And look down here in the Puerto Rico, Dominican Republican area. And speaking of earthquakes, there was a 5.5 earlier today, right down here off the coast of Guadalajara, Mexico. But check out this swarm over here in Puerto Rico. Look at that. Talk about an increase. Wow. That swarm, I can remember when this started. This actually started swarming 3 years ago. There's something brewing down here, and it seems to get bigger and bigger, and it tends to get bigger when the solar activities increased and we're in planetary alignment. So that didn't surprise me when I saw that today. And then, of course, the shallow 5.5 off the coast of Mexico, basically parallel with Mexico City. There was no tsunami or anything like that, but it's showing that there is indeed an increase in earthquake activity, and there's small ones too, all across the country. Check this out. Well, I don't have the map up, but we're going to get it up right now. Where's the earthquake map? Right here. Check this out. There was an earthquake up here in southern New York. What? North of Manhattan. Look at that. A small one, albeit that's small, but nevertheless, that's an earthquake in New York. Earthquake up here near Ottawa, not only in southern New York, but northern New York. How often do you see that? Never. You got an earthquake up here in the center of New Brunswick. How often do you see that? Never. You got an earthquake over here in northwestern Louisiana. How often do you see that? Never. I mean, the small ones are starting. That means the big ones are probably just right around the corner. Look at the straight line of earthquakes up here at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. If they're still there, they should be. Let's look and see. There was a straight line in an ongoing swarm. They've since came off the map now. In fact, if we go back, let's go back to 30 days. Check it out. 30 days, all magnitudes. There we go. There you go. There's your swarm. Look at that. That's a lot of earthquake activity at Yellowstone. Check it out. And it's only going to intensify. See the straight line of earthquakes right there? They're following a fault or they're making a new one. Look at that. Straight line in a swarm. 30 days worth. Now these up here are clustering. They're piling up on top of each other. It's a cluster swarm. That's a straight line swarm. That expands about 20 miles. So a lot of activity. If you look at the 30-day model, a lot of activity around the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera. Unbelievable. Quick update on the green situation down here in the southern Indian Ocean. That's yesterday. There's the day before, and there's the day before that. The 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th. So whatever that thing is, it's not going anywhere. It's still there, or at least it's still on the satellite. Did you guys see the full moon last night? A lot of people were reporting a ring around the moon. Hey, what's up, Lily Vaughn? Shut up, Lily Vaughn. Shut up, M91. Thank you for the super chat. Notice the big halo here. You've got the one on the left over in the United Kingdom by Ryan, the one on the right by Sean and Jody out of Bremerton, Washington, Daryl and Teresa out of Marietta, Michigan. So there were halos last night around the full moon in multiple locations around the world. In fact, I've got some more to share with you guys. Sky videos, or sky pictures and photos and videos that were sent in. Check this thing out. Kathy Jo Drake out of Paris, Illinois. What in the world? That's why she took the picture, because of that big chevron flying through the sky. Could have been just a cloud, could have been just a coincidence, but that thing certainly looked aerodynamic. That's what compelled her to take the photo. This video here is sent in by Reggie Lopez from today, from right out here in Arizona. He said it looked like some sort of a craft over there in front of the moon. Looks like a Texas Longhorn. However you want to describe that, he described it as some sort of a craft. He said it looked out of place. All the other clouds looked random. That one there didn't look so random. It looked like it was of intelligent design, kind of had a unique structure to it, and it was dark. And the rest of the clouds were more light, normal looking. Michael McCoy out of Vicksburg, Mississippi, talking about rings around the moon last night. That gives an entirely new meaning to rings around the moon. And not only one photo, but another one out of Kentucky, Adrian Rayburn. And again, all of these are from last night. So that was the common trend last night around the world, not everywhere. Kathy Jo also saw the full moon in Paris, Illinois last night. It didn't have any halos or rings. Tucson, Arizona, Susan Jones, that's the full moon, supermoon from last night. No rings. Harrietta, Michigan, Daryl and Teresa, they got a close-up view there of the supermoon. Our friend Polenta out of Sacramento, California was driving down the road the other day when she thought the sky was literally falling on the freeway. Are you serious right now? Jumbo clouds literally touching the ground. In some places, you can see right there, they were touching the ground. The rest of the clouds up there look normal, probably hanging around at 10, 15,000 feet. These were no more than 500 feet off the ground in places, if that. That's what compelled her to take the photo as she was driving down the freeway at 65 miles an hour. Keith out of Leesburg, Florida from the night of December 2nd. There's been an ongoing halo around the moon for several days in a row now. Here's another example of a jumbo halo spotted from the state of Florida. Great job, guys. Keep the photos and videos coming, and make sure you guys hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the like. That pushes the video out there just a little bit farther, and every little bit helps. Going up to Mount Rainier, Washington, you can see the activity continues as Mount Rainier is still humming like a bee. The seismograph over here on the eastern flank is still showing signs of vibration. I don't know if this thing is just simply malfunctioning, or is there some sort of vibration going on at Mount Rainier that's been going on and off now for the better part of 10 days at least. Here's another 24-hour block of the vibrating, once again going on at Mount Rainier. Not quite sure how to interpret that. That could be interpreted as some sort of like I said, a faulty antenna. Could be magma on the move. That's how I look at it. When we used to see that up at the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, it was usually an indication of magma on the move. So you never know. But looking at the communications that I'm showing here in this video, the cell towers and the power grids and things like that, all of that could be influenced by large solar storms. If we were to have a solar storm like the one from 1859, the Carrington event, in today's world, my goodness, it would really disrupt things a lot. The Carrington event disrupted things in 1859. In today's world, can you imagine? I mean, with all the satellites that it would affect, and how all the satellites that are, communicating with devices on the ground, and it's just it would be a massive domino effect. It really and truly would. Cellular service, internet service, direct TV service, car GPS, GPS in general, everything would probably go haywire if we were to see a Carrington event. And again, the Carrington event of 1859 was the largest solar storm ever recorded, and they're assuming that this was an X45. It could have been bigger. Their measuring devices back then obviously weren't like they are today. So this thing would do a number on satellites. There's no doubt about it. Satellites in the air and dish receivers on the ground. What it would do primarily, not only would there be an electrical charge, but it would create drag on the satellites. It would be like the satellites entered a rainstorm, you know what I mean? Density, that's what it would be. The density would create drag on their orbit, and it would throw them off orbit, slow them down. They do have a feature on these satellites where they can put them in what's called a safe mode, but that doesn't eliminate the drag. So, Doppler radar would be a mess. The power grid would start absorbing all kinds of extra energy that it wouldn't know what to do with. That would be a mess. Radar, there's another thing that has to be considered that would affect aviation travel. It's just on and on and on. I mean, the things that it could affect would be basically limitless. I mean, everything we use today involves usually some sort of electricity. We are very much glued to our electronic devices, and that's all of us. We've all got a smartphone, computer, lights in our homes. All that stuff depends on electricity, and a Carrington event storm would definitely impact electrical grids, satellites, cell phones, you name it, it would affect. It'd be like a giant EMP. Hopefully we won't see one, but things are lining up that way. You can see the sunspot situation. We've been talking about this for days, and the reason we've been talking about this is because it's a big deal. We haven't seen a sunspot complex that big facing the Earth, and it's facing the Earth directly right now, and it's going to be for the next few days. We haven't seen one like that in a long, long time. Even the event that sparked the storm back in the second week of November, around the 10th and the 11th, that spawned auroras. I mean, I think we saw auroras down here in Arizona. Those sunspots weren't this big. So these are a big deal. That's why we continue to talk about them, and we are watching them very, very closely. And if anything changes, guys, you will be the first to know. And once again, I'm working on a very cool video sent in by Nick Price out of Blackwell, Oklahoma. You're going to see here in the next day or two, if I can get to it today, I'm anxious to get to it, trust me. You're going to see what it looks like. Again, a flying Costco, basically a flying warehouse in the sky. And he watched it for 4 minutes. Unbelievable. If you guys have any photos or videos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports@mrmbb333.com. If you have a large video that won't attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red tab that says have a large video. It's a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos into the Dropbox. Here, I'll show you. Click on that. Boom, it opens up a Dropbox and just drag and drop right in there. But somewhere on there, put your name, date, and location if you could. And I'll take it from there, Susan Donahue. All right, guys, I want to thank you for spending part of your Friday with me. We made it to the end of the week, and before you know it, Friday will be here again. These weeks are moving by in what seems like warp speed. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.